Yes, I'm very fine. I'm very fine. I'm fine, and I hope you are also very fine.
Yeah, I'm doing well, sir.
Very good. I'm very happy.
How is your morning? How is your morning?
My I couldn't
I'm
follow.
saying, how is your morning?
My morning. It is wonderful always. Well, see, very very wonderful. God's grace. I'm very fine. Uh, and today it is more interesting. You are there to talk to. It is better today.
Same to you, same to you. Okay, sir. So I'm very curious about to know about yourself because it's very important for me and the viewers also. So please tell me about yourself.
Uh, Mansi, I was born and brought up in a small village in the Punjab. You know the Punjab, you know we Punjabis. So
Okay.
I was born and brought up in a village, and I stayed in my village till I was 22 years old. I completed my graduation from a town nearby, and then I did my MA from Punjab University. So till I completed my post graduation from the Punjab University, I was in my village. And as I always share it with friends, particularly from Hindi Punjabi speaking background, that like people have the notions of how do you learn English, for example. You should be so all those factors that actually people talk about, huh? See, you have good coaching somewhere, you join a top slot institute where you are trained by very good teachers, all those things. In my case, there was none of these things were there. It was a very small village, like we have so many of them in the UP, in Punjab. Okay, so no connection with any top slot training English. But yes, see,
Yeah.
because I was fond of reading literature, I opted for doing MA English, and then I taught English in DAV College, Chandigarh. It is the best college in North India, and I taught here for 35 years, and I retired as the head of the Department of English. And by that time, I had developed a new technique of teaching English. The method of learning English that is very natural and very interesting and very productive for all those people who come from Hindi or Punjabi background. So that system I have developed. It is called Vernacular Bridge Course to Learn English.
Okay, it's very nice your introduction. I'm really glad to hear this about this. Okay, sir, as you mentioned me, you have been teaching as a DAV college. So I would like to clear here. I did my Master of Art, same college, DAV, Dayanand Anglo Mahavidyalaya, which is located in Kanpur University.
Okay, okay, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. So the next question is that I would like to ask you, as you mentioned me, you belong to Punjabi.
Yes,
Here's a lot of
I'm a
yeah.
Punjabi. I was
Yeah, here's a lot of students who just know that language Marathi, Punjabi, and the Hindi. Just my native language is Hindi. So,
Hmm.
what is more important for covering this language? How to
Yes,
observe this thing?
yes, look at
Yeah,
there's a what is my discovery, Mansi, and what is my system based on? The foundational idea of my technique is the technique that I called vernacular bridge course to learn English. The foundational idea is very interesting. It can be any language. See, it can be Punjabi, Hindi, Marathi, name any language. So I have found out that in all languages, uh, actually the number of structurally different sentences that we speak, structurally different sentences, it is only 8. No, Mansi, just try to take note of this fact that I'm quoting. People, when I ask my learners, okay, how many structurally different sentences uh, all of us use when we talk, when we listen to other people throughout our life, they begin by saying that probably the number should be countless. But then I tell them that countless are the things that we discuss. That are countless, of course. But the number of different structures that we use is only 8. Only 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There is
yeah,
no there is no ninth sentence that we need to learn. And this is the idea. See, and those 8 sentences are spoken in all the languages. So, whichever language you speak, what do I do? First of all, I make my learner know that difference. Okay, how those 8 structures are different from one another. So that when my learner, he because he uses them comfortably in his life, so he at once finds out the difference. No, right here, let me tell you, let me list those sentences for you. Bansi, when I
Sure.
say that
Yeah.
I'm a teacher. Now look at this sentence. मैं एक
Yeah.
अध्यापक हूँ. अब इस सेंटेंस में इसमें कोई एक्शन नहीं है. आई एम अ टीचर एंड यू आर ऑल्सो अ ट्रेनर लाइक दिस एंड यू आर इन कानपुर आई एम इन चंडीगढ़. ऐसे जो सेंटेंस होते हैं ना जिनमें कोई एक्शन नहीं होता, आई कॉल देम थिंग्स. दिस इज द फर्स्ट कैटेगरी. इसको मैं क्या कहूंगा? फर्स्ट कैटेगरी. दिस इज माय फर्स्ट कैटेगरी. थिंग्स सेंटेंसेस. थिंग्स. Okay.
Okay.
And then structurally different sentence from this is when you talk about the ownership, when you talk about the possession. You know, possess word is there. POSSESS. Possess means to have something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
second idea is the idea of possession. जैसे जब मैं कहता हूं कि मैं एक अध्यापक हूं, it is a thing sentence because I'm not referring to any activity. I'm describing an object, a thing, which is me. Okay. So this is thing sentence. I'm a teacher. I have books. Now look at this sentence. No, this is a different idea. Now I'm talking about my possession, my ownership. Okay.
Ji.
So these are the first two things and then possession. And then from here, the activity sentences begin. Activity sentence. And there are three types of activities that we use when we are sharing information with people. For example, you know, I call simple, continuing and perfect. These are the three main activities. Simple activity is कि when you simply share things with people, कि जैसे मैं सुबह उठता हूँ, सैर के लिए जाता हूँ, आधा घंटा पार्क में रहता हूँ, सूर्योदय होता हुआ देखता हूँ और फिर वापस आ जाता हूँ. Or you can say it in past also, in future also. This time is not important. You can say. Now the categories are the same. But you can, according to your need, you can place them in the past, you can place them in the present, or you can place them in the future. No problem. Okay. So simple sentences means when you are simple activity sentences, when you are simply sharing information, and this is the most used structure. I call the simple structure a very special structure because it is mostly used whenever we are talking. Most of the time we are using this simple structure. And the simple structure is also constructed in a different way. There is no use of is MR here. I wake up in the morning. I go to the park. No is MR is used. So this is again something special about it. Okay. So this is the third category of sentence in simple activity. Okay. And then after this, continuing. Continuing means when you are talking about an activity which is going on when you are speaking. For example, you are sitting at present in Kanpur, I'm sitting in Chandigarh, we are talking, you are asking me questions, I'm answering questions. So this is continuing activity. So now look, and now if all the probably the people who are listening to me, they are sharply becoming aware of these different structures. For example, things, I'm a teacher, possession, I have books. Simple, I teach in a college. Continuing, at present, I'm teaching English at many places. Now, these are the four structures up to now. And fifth structure is perfect activity, the activity that was over. For example, I have already spent 3 or 4 waking hours of today. आज के 3-4 घंटे में बता सी I have already spent 4 waking hours of this day like this. जो काम पूरा हो गया. I have taken tea, for example. We have started talking. जो काम हमने, जो activity, the activity that is completed, it is called perfect activity. Okay. So this was your number 5th. है ना? So first was things, second possession, third simple, fourth continuing, and fifth
Continuous, the perfect.
No, I don't call it continuous because that confuses with that tense. See, look at my terminology. Number 1, things. Number 2, possession. Number 3, simple. Number 4, continuing. Continuing. The learner should know that he's talking about the activity that is going on. Continuing.
Yeah, we are doing any work.
Doing the activity is going on actually when I'm describing it. Then perfect. The activity that is completed. Okay.
Yeah.
So then now this again, the 6th and 7th structures, they any speaker of English actually is not taught these. You'll be surprised. I've been teaching English now for the last 50 years, and you can talk to any teacher of English. Now the 6th or 7th sentence that I'm going to talk to you about now, they never teach it in any grammar. Even those who teach meticulous grammar, they never teach the 6th and 7th sentence that I teach on day 1. And what is the sixth structure? I call it intention. Intention, the name of the category is intention. हाँ, जैसे मैं अब let us again take up the example that I am developing. For example, I am a teacher. I have books. I teach books. I'm teaching in a college. I have taught for many years now. And number 6, I'm yet to teach more people. I'm yet to learn. I'm to buy more books. I'm to learn. I'm to read more books. अब देखिए हिंदी में इसका कैसे होता है, मैंने भी और किताबें खरीदनी है, मैंने अभी और किताबें पढ़नी है, मैंने अभी और पढ़ाना है. No, look at the sentence. The people who teach grammar or the people who teach tense like that, they never cover this structure. अब देखो ना, किसी से आप पूछो कि ये सेंटेंस कैसे कहोगे कि मैंने किताबें खरीदनी है, मैंने किताबें पढ़नी है, मैंने अपनी लाइब्रेरी बनानी है, मैंने बच्चों को पढ़ाना है. They don't teach you in grammar. But in my system, it is the 6th important structure that I teach on day 1. And I have named it. I call it intention structure. मर्जी वाले, ये मेरे मर्जी वाले फिक्र है. जैसे तू ऐसे कितने भी सेंटेंस बना कि मैंने अभी इस प्रोग्राम के बाद मैंने घर जाना है और मेरी एक सहेली ने आना है, हमने लंच करना है, फिर हमने आज फिल्म देखनी है, फिर शाम को फिर यहाँ पे वापस. लुक एट दीस सेंटेंसेस. दीज आर इंटेंशन सेंटेंसेस. ओके. एंड देन सो दिस वाज द 6th structure. And each structure is different from the other. Things, and then possession, then simple, continuing, perfect, intention, and next is compulsion. The next category of my structure is compulsion sentences. वो काम जो आपको मजबूरी में काम करने पड़ते हैं, जैसे मुझे सुबह उठना पड़ता है, ठंडे पानी से नहाना पड़ता है, साइकिल चलाना पड़ता है, काम पे जाना पड़ता है, मेहनत करनी पड़ती है. Look at this sentence. This is compulsion sentence. So this category, again, it is not taught in tense by the teachers. Later on you acquire it when you go on working on your language, but they are not taught right in the beginning like I do in my bridge course. Okay, so this was your 7th structure, and 8th structure is based on modals. Now, Mansi, look at this word, modal. This word is most mispronounced word. Most of the teachers call it modal or modal. And this is wrong.
I agree with this.
This is absolutely wrong. Now, look here. This is it is the sign of the carelessness of the teachers, English teachers, that they carry on mispronouncing this word at a very large scale. In very good public schools, the teachers, they call it modal or modal.
They call it modal.
Modal. But this word is modal. No, you know that sometimes in English language there are alternative pronunciations also. For example, American pronunciation, British pronunciation. But if you check any dictionary, you will find that this word modal has no alternative pronunciation. It has only one pronunciation, modal, M-O-D-L. And these modals are mood verbs. They are mood words. They add mood to a statement. For example, when I say that I'm a teacher, it is a simple statement. But when I say I can teach English very easily, no, this is a statement plus something more, plus my capacity is conveyed to you. Okay, so these are the 8 categories. To continue with that example, with which I started, कि मैं अध्यापक हूँ, मेरे पास पुस्तकें हैं, मैं पुस्तकें पढ़ाता हूँ, मैं एक कॉलेज में पढ़ा रहा हूँ, मैंने बहुत साल पढ़ा लिया है, मैंने अभी और पढ़ाना है, और पढ़ाने के लिए मुझे किताबें पढ़नी पड़ती हैं और मैं किताबें खरीद सकता हूँ. So these are the 8 structures. Things, and then possession, simple, continuing, perfect, intention, compulsion, and modals. Mansi, now you just, it is your turn now. Can you think of a sentence which is not covered by these 8? Now try and tell me. I ask it again and again. Let me know if there is any 8th sentence. And any 9th sentence. No, you can also try. You speak no. Speak any idea that come to your mind. You will find it will fall into one of these 8 categories.
No, so you have already covered a lot of sentence in the whole grammar. You have covered your all sentence in the 8 structures. It's very nice.
These are the 8 structures. And now see, because I'm a teacher of English, I know what grammar is. So I know that once my learners, once they find this difference of structures in their mother tongue, and then they start saying it in English with the help of verb patterns, their whole tense is covered automatically. And I do not discuss tense with my students. I do not discuss it. I do not discuss any grammar. And another thing is, my system, I call it is a grammar in the background system. Now,
Yeah.
in good public schools, the way they taught, they do not stress much of the grammar. They naturally engage a child in conversation with English speaking teachers, But in Hindi or Punjabi speaking schools, nobody speaks English. And our learners are told that if you want to learn English, you should first read grammar. But I don't say this thing. I tell my Punjabi Hindi speaking learner that we are not to discuss any grammar. Just be aware
Yeah.
of these 8 structures and start saying them in English, and your whole grammar is automatic. Step by step, your grammar is covered. So this is the foundational idea of my program, Vernacular Bridge Course to Learn English. If you Google it, you will find over there there is
Yeah.
a book written in simple Hindi, and for Punjabi speakers, it is in simple Punjabi. If you Google it, Vernacular Bridge Course to Learn English, you get that book on Amazon. The book is published by Jaipur Paper Towns people. So it is there on the internet, this book. So this is my system. Foundational idea is this, that throughout life, you do not speak more than 8 structurally different sentences. In your mother tongue, you know them. Start saying them in English, that's all. This is my system.
It's very unique system because I also covered these all our structures by one. But you have cleared all things by the help of the only 8 structures. So it's
Yes.
very nice. It's very unique. I really impressed.
Start using it and make more and more looker, because you already are doing good work in education. From now on, to take the decision that you are going to use this system in your institute, and
Yeah, sure. I will.
you would try to bring more and more learners to the system by making. Now look at, I told you, probably I've told you, Mansi, that recently in November I have started a YouTube channel also. Okay, so again the same idea, Vernacular Bridge Course on YouTube. If somebody Googles it, so my YouTube channel is there. Okay, and whatever I'm telling you, everything is there, and everything is taken up one by one. See, my YouTube the channel was started only in the middle of November, last November. It was started only. It is taking off gradually. People are coming to find it out and then use it. So if you think that this system is wonderful, then you should subscribe to that. You should use
Yeah,
it.
I subscribed. I
And
subscribed.
you have
No,
subscribed or,
no.
or not? Huh? Have you
Yeah,
subscribed or not?
I have subscribed. I have subscribed earlier.
Wonderful. And look here, because you are running an institute, you go
Yeah,
on teaching people like this, but make them subscribe to this channel also, because it would be an additional source with them. Or again, look here. Suppose look at, what do I do at different places in different states. I am linked to different groups of learners. So now suppose you are there. Now, you want some input from me uh, off and on, but you are to only make a WhatsApp group. For example, suppose you have 100 students that you are teaching. Okay, so all of you form a WhatsApp group, and include me also in that WhatsApp group. And let
sure.
us continue whatever the problems, whatever I'm there to participate in your work also over there. And I'm not charging any, nor Mansi, again,
Oh,
I will not charge anything from you. And you know why I am so passionately touting for this system even now, because my goal is that we need to change the board syllabuses. Punjab board, Haryana board, UP board, Himachal board, they need to throw away the old system of teaching English, and they need to adopt this new system of teaching English, which is very interesting and which is very entertaining for any learner also.
yeah, that's very good. I'm really impressed for this things because these all are step are very easy and we can just cover within a 1 month. That is all already we have covered. So
Yeah.
one more question I would like to ask you this that all our system is belong to the conversation. But if we talk about the vocabulary, how can we
Ah,
add the vocab in our sentences?
yes. No, look here. That is also very interesting kind of thing to do. And this is, you can say that this is an additional gain that a learner uh, acquires from my system. It is an additional benefit. Now, what do I do? you know that from my experience, I have learned that English words are learned not by mugging up lists or not by cramming. Huh? So
Yeah.
English words are learned only when you meet them in action, meeting the words in action. And what do? On day one, I link my learners to a very interesting book of stories. For example, I will send you that book. I'll share it with you. It is available on the
Sure.
internet. It is available on the internet, and it is a word classic. The book that I use for the beginners it is Aesop's Fables. Aesop, Aesop. Aesop is the name of the author. Aesop's Fables is the book that I use. It has 120 stories. 120 stories, very small stories. And I ask my learner to read a story before going to sleep. Enjoy this. See, and this is so interesting. That is why I call my system a very entertaining
Yeah.
system, because I don't ask my students to start reading newspapers, to start reading grammar. I don't suggest any such thing. I tell my students to read an interesting story before going to sleep. A very small story, 10 lines, 15 minutes. Enjoy the story, number one. Number two, get an idea out of that story, because that story has a message also. And number three, now when you have started reading stories, start taking conscious notice of language. In fact, I suggest four things. I ask my learners to read a story, number one, enjoy it, and then start taking mental notice of new interesting word. Mental notice of new interesting words and expressions. And because even in a 15-line story there would be 15 or 20 new expressions, I ask them to keep a slip with them, a small piece of paper, and list those new expressions that appeal to them. Okay, and after enjoying the story, finishing the story, look up those words in the dictionary. That's all. So this is one way of building your vocabulary. Every day read something that is interesting for you, and when you are reading that interesting material, also now start responding to the language also. मैं कहता हूँ मनसी, मैं ये कहता हूँ कि कोई भी जो कहानी होती है, कोई भी किताब होती है, it is not only a story, it is not only a message, it is dance of language also. Dance of language. So you are to start appreciating the dance of language also. वो क्या
Yeah.
होता है, वो that is phrases and expressions and words. So एक तो ये मैं suggest करता हूँ, मतलब I from day one I link my reader to this source of reading. ठीक है, कि आपने सोने से पहले एक कहानी पढ़नी है आनंद लेने के लिए. आनंद लो, आइडिया पिकअप करो, और साथ के साथ वो जो डांस ऑफ द लैंग्वेज, जो वर्ड्स और एक्सप्रेशंस हैं, उनको आप अप्रिशिएट करना सीखो. मैं उनको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं कि सपोज देयर इज अ स्टोरी कि वंस there was a shepherd. He lived in a small hamlet on the flank of a mountain. He had a large flock of sheep. He took the sheep out to graze in the forest, and at night he kept the sheep in a pen. सिर्फ मैंने चार पांच अभी कहानियां, अब मैंने चार पांच लाइनें बोली. अब जो रीडर है वो जब जैसे ही वो शुरू करेगा, उससे पता चलेगा कि ये एक शेफर्ड के बारे में कहानी शुरू हो गई. शेफर्ड आपको पता है, जो भेड़ें बकरियां चराने वाला होता है.
जी, I know.
और फिर वो ग्रेजुअली कहानी एंजॉय करते करते वो वर्ड्स देखेगा. देयर वाज अ शेफर्ड फॉर एग्जांपल, सो ही लिव्ड इन अ हैमलेट. Hamlet word आ गया, Hamlet. Hamlet is a small village on the flank of a mountain. Flank means side of a mountain. But he had a flock of sheep. Look at the word flock. He took out that flock to graze. Graze word is there. And at night he kept his sheep in a pen. Pen, pen. अब पेन का क्या मतलब होता है? बच्चे को तो पेन का मतलब वही होता है जो लिखने वाला होता है. लेकिन जहां पे अगर वो मेंटल नोटिस लेगा कि वो कहेगा एट नाइट ही kept his sheep in a pen. What is this pen? So he'll then look up, and then he'll find out that pen is a protected, open protected space to keep the pen like this. So this is one method of building your vocabulary daily. Read an interesting, and you know, look here again, there are different levels of learners also. But to the beginners, I link the beginners to this source, this book, Aesop's Fables. But then I ask them, okay, if they have a maturer taste, if are fond of reading, then they can Google a lot of material. For example, they should start reading folk tales, for example. Folk tales, जो लोक कहानियां होती हैं, they should Google search folk tales, and the folk tales from all over the world are there on the internet. So what should they do? They should enjoy a folk tale. Again, folk tales are also very educative, and they should learn the language from there. So this is one way. This is one way. And second, like you, suppose you are running a class in your institute. You can do one thing. So you can use another method also to add to the vocabulary of student. What is this method? This method is that you ask your learners to think of any situation. Suppose they want to talk about a kitchen. They want to talk about kitchen. So ask them, okay, look here, we are going to talk about kitchen. Let us list all the words which are needed to talk about a kitchen. I call them this is the words of need. I call them words of need. So your learners, they can be asked to think of a situation. Okay, we want to talk about this, and then you ask them, okay, let us list words of need. उनके दिमाग में हिंदी में आएगा ना, हिंदी में कि अच्छा जी किचन के बारे में बात करते हैं तो चूल्हे को क्या कहते हैं, तो आपको हो गए अवन. तो वो कहेंगे कि फिर वो जो चाय पुन्नी होती है, चाय जिसके साथ, उसको क्या कहते हो, आपको हो गए स्ट्रेनर. तो वो आपको कहेंगे कि वो कड़छी की अंग्रेजी क्या होती है, यू विल से इट इज लेडल, LADL. कोई आपसे पूछेगा कि तवा क्या होता है, तो आप क्या कहोगे, ग्रिडल. सो लाइक दिस इज लिस्टिंग द वर्ड ना. मेरी क्लास में क्या होता है, जब बच्चे आते हैं सबसे पहले मैं उनको कहता हूं चलो भी ओके लुक हियर, क्योंकि वो घर से सोच के आते हैं कि मैंने इसके बारे में बात करनी है. मैं उनको कहता हूं कि आओ भाई, लिस्ट योर वर्ड्स ऑफ नीड. मानसी, यू बी सरप्राइज्ड कि मेरी क्लास में पहले ही बच्चे probably 25 to 30 वर्ड सीख जाते हैं, बिकॉज आउट ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी दे आर लिस्टिंग वर्ड्स ऑफ नीड. देखना, अब जो बच्चा किचन के बारे में बात करता है, अगर उसे पता चलेगा, अब उसके दिमाग में कड़छी शब्द आया, हाँ कड़छी वो जो होती है, तो आप बताओगे लेडल. और ये आजकल आसान बहुत है. अगर आपको सपोज आपको तवे की अंग्रेजी नहीं आती जिसमें हम रोटी बनाते हैं, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम. वो इंटरनेट पे जाओ, तो हिंदी में लिखो तवा, इन इंग्लिश you get griddle. जी राइट. आजकल तो काम बहुत आसान हो गया. So this is the second way. I have look here. Up to now I have told you that any learner needs to do only number one, learn 8 structures to correctly say them in English, and number 2, build vocabulary building को मैं 70% I gave 70% importance to your vocabulary. जितनी ज्यादा आपके पास vocabulary होगी उतनी ज्यादा आप कंफर्टेबल स्पीकर होगे. तो उसके लिए मैंने आपको 2 तरीके बता दिए. एक तो आपने कुछ ना कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग आज से हर रोज पढ़ना शुरू कर देना है, उसे एंजॉय करना है, उससे सीखना है, और साथ साथ डांस ऑफ द लैंग्वेज अप्रिशिएट करके ना आपने वो वर्ड सीखने हैं. मैं वो बार एग्जांपल देता हूं कि जब आपकी आंखें खुल जाती हैं ना, तो फिर आप अब मैं वो बहुत मेरी कॉमन एग्जांपल है कि कीमतें बढ़ रही हैं. एक सेंटेंस है कीमतें बढ़ रही हैं. अब मैंने वो 6 तरीके से, somebody says prices are increasing, somebody says prices are soaring, then third person says prices are skyrocketing, fourth person says prices are hitting the roof, fifth person says prices are shooting to the roof, and sixth person the prices these days are running out of sight. अब ये 6 सेंटेंस मुझे नहीं पता मैंने कहां पढ़े थे, क्योंकि आंखें खुल गई हैं लैंग्वेज की खूबसूरती के लिए, तो कीमतें बढ़ रही हैं. इसको मैंने 6 तरीके से कहते हुए लोगों को सुना है. सो दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू डू. सो वोकैबुलरी बिल्ड करने के 2 तरीके मैंने बता दिए तुझे कि इंटरेस्टिंग पढ़ो और मेंटल नोट्स लो और वो शब्द सीखो, और साथ साथ एंजॉय करो और आइडिया सीखो, नंबर 1. और नंबर 2, एज अ ग्रुप वो सिचुएशंस के बारे में सोचो और वर्ड्स ऑफ नीड लिस्ट करो और उसके बारे में बोलो. दिस इज अबाउट वोकैबुलरी.
Yeah, that's a very good, because if we create any interest for our subject, so that's a good. We should create an interest for learning this anything. So that's a very awesome.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate you, because you have a great experience about this language, and I can say that you are a book of that language.
What do you say? I am.
You are a book. Yeah, you are a book of that language.
No. Look here. Nobody is perfect, Mansi. But what do you keep doing? If you are a serious student of something, you carry on improving your understanding of all those things. This is what I see as a teacher. I have been a learner also throughout my life, and for example, grammar. I tell my students that one way is that, like it is done in schools, they give you the knowledge of grammar, but in my system you acquire understanding of grammar automatically. Understanding. Now, you know, these are two different things. Knowledge and understanding are two different things. Knowledge is only piled up ideas in your head and they can scatter anytime. But understanding is a skill that you have registered here. Understand?
Yeah.
So in my system, even grammar, the whole, you know, when I'm talking with teachers, I list all the topics of grammar for them. For example, I tell them, look here, there is tense, there is voice, there is narration, and then there are parts of speech, there are determiners, there are qualifiers, and then there are phrases, there are non-finite verbs, and then there are clauses, and then there are modals. I list all of them for the teachers, but I teach like I have shared with you, and in the process the whole grammar is covered. The whole grammar is covered.
Yeah.
You know, for example,
Right.
you know, parts of speech, most of the students, because they learn parts of speech in grammar, they mug them up and they do not know what is the relevance of all this in their.
Yeah, they are not using.
They
are not using. They covered everything, but they are not using proper time.
They are, because they are not given the understanding also. For example, in vocabulary, for example, I ask my learners, okay, when do you say okay, you have mastered a word? This is my question. You know, and then I tell the learner, okay, you say that you have mastered a word when you know four things about that word. Four things. Number one, it's spelling. And number two, pronunciation. Second important thing is to pronounce that word, which is in Hindi, Punjabi schools, they never talk about pronunciation. The teachers rather carry on the wrong pronunciations. But in my class, I tell any Hindi Punjabi speaker that you should be very much conscious about the pronunciation. When you are looking up for a word, spelling, you know, and look for the pronunciation also. And then number three, meaning. Meaning is at the third place. And then I ask my learner to also start learning the functions of the words. And now what are your parts of speech? Your parts of speech are the functions of the words. Now, and I illustrate this idea to them. I tell them, okay, look here. When I say, okay, I love my country, I speak three sentences. I love my country. I have loved my country. I love my country. One. I have love for my country. Two. I have a love letter in my pocket. This is the third sentence. Then I ask my learners to look, it is the same word. Spellings are the same. Pronunciation is the same. Meaning is the same. But look at the fourth thing. जब मैं कहता हूँ I love my country, यहाँ love का मतलब प्रेम करना. It is an action word. मैं अपने देश से प्रेम करता हूँ. It is an action word. यहाँ love means प्रेम करना. Love, loved, loved. और जब मैं सेकंड सेंटेंस बोलता हूँ आई हैव लव फॉर माय कंट्री, मुझे मेरे देश से प्रेम है, हियर इट इज अ नेमिंग वर्ड. इट इज अ नेमिंग वर्ड नाउ. ओके. एंड देन थर्ड, व्हेन आई से कि आई हैव अ लव लेटर इन माय पॉकेट, मेरी जेब में एक प्रेम भरा पत्र है, हियर लव मींस प्रेम. प्रेम भरा, इट हैज बिकम अ एडजेक्टिव. It has
adjective.
not, it has become an adjective. So this, from day one, my students start learning word functions, and once they have learned the word functions, the rest of the grammar is covered. Their phrases are covered, non-finite verbs are covered, and clauses are also covered, only by working on word functions.
Yeah, that is very important. If we cover family of any word, so that is important.
Yes, so this is what I do. It is and grammar, and this is what I'm telling you. Okay, see, in my system, the learning of English is very easy and very fast, and mastering of grammar is not at the knowledge level, it is at the understanding level. My learners understand wonderful grammar, faultless grammar. This is what my system does.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
I'm happy that you liked it.
Yeah, I really learned a lot of things from your side.
No problem. we can continue doing this, as I've told you.
Sure, I will really ask you.
Around you have a WhatsApp group of learners, and include me in that group, and we can continue this dialogue. No problem.
Sure. Okay, so I think it's approx 35 minutes is our session. I really appreciate your work, because you are doing a very great job, and you have a lot of experience about this language.
Mansi, I invite you to become a partner to change the school syllabuses. Look here.
Sure.
We are to prove that this system is the best system. There is no match for it. And then once we prove it and once our learners accept it and adopt it, then nobody can stop the changes in the board syllabuses.
Yeah.
This is what we are doing. The other day I was talking to Ashutosh also. You know Ashutosh.
Yeah, yeah, I know very well.
Whenever I talk to young people like you, I ask them to spread the idea. Let us make changes in the way of teaching English in the syllabuses of the boards. This is what we are to do, and you have to become an active partner for that. Okay. Thank you very much. If you liked it, okay. Now, for future also, whenever you think, now I have made a suggestion to you. Okay, you can have a large WhatsApp group, and we can continue this interaction in that group also.
Sure, I will definitely yeah.
So otherwise, if you appreciate the idea, then you can tell people to subscribe to the channel. Okay, the Vernacular Bridge course on YouTube.
Sure.
And similarly, somebody is interested in buying the book. The book is available only on Amazon. Understand? On Amazon, they have to Google Vernacular Bridge Course to learn English, and the book is there. And my book has a Kindle version also. Kindle version, you can have a Kindle version. And let me share it with you that see, in Canada and in Canada and European countries, the learners are using the Kindle version of my book. They are using the Kindle version. And I know this because I go on getting checks from Europe and Canada, though they are very small checks, but my book is being used by the people in Europe and Canada. Okay. Achha,
it's really good. Yeah.
For me also, it was a wonderful experience, Mansi, to talk to you. God bless you. And whenever are you going to post this interaction also somewhere on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure. I will. Yeah, I will post in my YouTube channel.
Yes, look at it, and then you just edit it, whatever you want to do, and then once you post it, do over there also you give the kind of link of my channel also. Can you probably
sure,
like?
I will definitely.
So you have you the link on my YouTube channel, or I message you just after this? Huh?
Yes, I have.
So put it over there, and then and once you post it on your channel, send me the link. I would also look at it, and
sure.
then again we'll have kind of sharing of some input. Okay.
Bilkul. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for.
It was my pleasure. God bless you. I am always so happy when I talk to young people like you who are working wonderfully well, and I simply want them to help me probably reach this very easy system to towns and small schools and towns and villages, so that poor people over there, they know, okay, it is not a fight. Learning English is not a fight. It is fun. It is entertainment.
Yeah.
This is what I wish you do with the help of people like you. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
You too. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.